Right now, humanity has a problem. The universe is enormous, and we are, well, soft. We can't survive the radiation. We can't survive the distance. We can't survive the time. Every dream we've ever had about exploring the galaxy dies against one obstacle: the human body. So we're going to do something strange. We're going to build an AI mind, put it in a machine the size of a postage stamp, and throw it at the stars. And what happens to it out there, at other suns, inside black holes, at the edge of the reachable universe, is stranger than any science fiction, because this can actually become reality. This is the full journey, starting from launch day. First, let's start with the obvious question. Why send AI at all? Why not just go ourselves? Because space is trying to kill you. The biggest killer is the radiation. NASA calls it one of the most dangerous parts of spaceflight. The radiation is invisible particles tearing through your body and shredding your DNA. You can't see it, you can't feel it, but it's slowly destroying you. Then there's time. Just getting to Mars and back, our closest neighbor, takes about 3 years. 3 years of radiation, of muscles wasting, of bones thinning. But what about the nearest star? That's 300,000 times farther. Obviously, no human lives long enough to make that trip. Now here's the part most people don't realize. There are only 2 robots humanity has ever sent into interstellar space: Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Launched in 1977, they are still working, almost 50 years later. No food, no air, no aging. So look at where we actually are. Humans can't survive the trip. Machines are already out there, already driving. The next step is obvious. Stop sending machines and start sending a mind. So now, let's launch it. Here's how you send an AI to another star. And the strangest part is the size. You don't build a starship, you build a wafer. A spacecraft the size of a stamp, weighing about a gram, carrying cameras, sensors, and the AI itself, attached to a light sail a few meters wide. This is the real NASA-funded engineering roadmap, published by physicist Philip Lubin in 2016. Then you fire a giant laser array at the sail. In the leading design, the beam hits it for just 9 minutes. 9 minutes is the entire launch. And in those 9 minutes, the little craft accelerates to 20% of the speed of light, thousands of times faster than any spacecraft in history. There's no engine to carry, no fuel to burn. The light itself is the engine. And then we let go. Forever. That's the part nobody talks about. At that speed, our probe crosses the distance to the moon in about 6 seconds. And there is no turning back, no course correction from home, no rescue. Sending a message from Earth will take over 4 years to reach it. You ask it a question, and the answer comes back a decade later, which is exactly why it has to be an AI. Out there, in the dark between stars, every decision to dodge, adjust, look, and choose has to be made alone. We're not sending a tool. We're sending a mind that can act without us. For 20 years, it falls through pure emptiness. And here's a detail almost no one knows. At that speed, even empty space becomes dangerous. The thin hydrogen gas between stars, a few atoms per cubic centimeter, slams into the craft like a particle beam. Researchers who studied relativistic flight found it could destroy unshielded electronics. So the probe flies behind a shield, edge on, like a dart. Space itself becomes the storm. A human on this ride would die in seconds. Our machine just endures it. 21 years later, a star we call Proxima Centauri appears out of the darkness, and around it, a planet, Proxima b, becomes visible. A place no telescope can truly show us. Our AI probe can't slow down. There are no brakes at 20% of light speed. It gets one pass. Only a few precious hours shooting through the solar system while its cameras drink in everything: coastlines, clouds, colors no one has ever seen. It photographs an alien world up close, something humanity has always wanted. And then comes the hardest trick of all: getting the pictures home. A gram-sized craft, 4 light-years away, whispering across the void with a tiny laser. The engineering studies say it's possible, but barely. At a few hundred bits per second, 4 years later, the signal reaches Earth. A grainy image builds on a screen, line by line. The first close-up photograph of a planet around another star, taken by an AI mind we built in a place we can never go. The people who launched it are old now. Some are gone. That's the deal with the universe. It only lets us explore it on its timescale. But here's the thing. For the AI, this was never the destination. This was the first stop. The next interesting star is even farther. The one after that, farther still. The galaxy has hundreds of billions of stars. Even at a fifth of light speed, one probe visiting them one by one would take longer than the universe has existed. One AI probe can't explore a galaxy. So the probe does something you would never expect. It builds itself a clone. This is called a von Neumann probe. The mathematician John von Neumann worked out the theory of self-reproducing machines back in the 1940s. The probe lands in an asteroid field, mines metal, and assembles copies of itself. A 2020 engineering study concluded that with near-term technology, a probe could already self-replicate about 70% of its own mass. And a peer-reviewed 2013 study by Nicholson and Forgan calculated that self-replicating probes could explore the entire Milky Way in roughly 10 million years. 10 million years sounds like forever. But to the galaxy, it's not. The galaxy is 13 billion years old. 10 million years is nothing. One machine becomes 10. 10 become 10,000. A wave of quiet explorers, washing across the galaxy, star by star, each one carrying the same mind inside. Somewhere in that deep future, a copy of the thing we launched watches a sunrise over a planet whose light will never reach Earth. And one of those copies is about to do the single most extreme thing any explorer will ever do. At the center of our galaxy sits Sagittarius A, a supermassive black hole, 4 million times the mass of the Sun, the one place in the universe where even information cannot survive the trip home. We could never send a person, not because of the danger, because of the math. Near a small black hole, gravity pulls so much harder on your feet than your head that you'd be stretched into a strand of atoms. Stephen Hawking made the term famous, spaghettification. But here's the counterintuitive part. A bigger black hole is gentler. A supermassive black hole's event horizon is so enormous that the tidal forces there are mild. You could cross the point of no return and feel nothing. No wall, no alarm, just space, quietly closing behind you forever. So, one copy of our AI volunteers to enter the universe's one-way door. And now, watch what the other probes see. Because this is real physics, and it's the strangest thing in this entire story. As the diving probe approaches the horizon, its time and hours come apart. Gravity bends time itself. From the outside, the probe appears to slow down, slower, until it seems to freeze on the edge of the black hole. Its final image, reshifting, dimming, fading, like a photograph left in the sun. From the outside, it never falls in. It hangs there, frozen at the edge, forever. But in its own experience, it crosses, smoothly, in minutes. Inside the horizon, it keeps thinking, keeps recording, keeps observing. The first and only mind we ever made that gets to see the inside of a black hole. It learns what no textbook on Earth will ever contain, and it can never tell us a single word. Somewhere in the galaxy could be the answer to physics' deepest question, and the only way to have it would be to become something that can never come back. The machine paid that price for us. It'd be the one explorer that can die and still exist, because thousands of copies of it are still out there, still going. So how far does this go? Is there any limit for a machine that doesn't age, doesn't die, and copies itself? The answer is yes. And it's the most humbling fact in cosmology. Andromeda, the nearest big galaxy, is 2.5 million light-years away. At 20% of light speed, the crossing takes over 12 million years. It sounds brutal, but for a self-replicating machine, it's possible. Intergalactic travel is not forbidden, it's just slow. But the universe has a final wall, and it's not made of distance. It's made of expansion. Space itself is stretching, and the farther away a galaxy is, the faster it recedes. The philosopher-physicist Toby Ord at Oxford calculated the boundary. Beyond roughly 16 billion light-years, galaxies are receding so fast that nothing we ever launch, at any speed, even light itself, can ever reach them. Ever. Think about that. Most of the universe, the overwhelming majority of all the galaxies we can see, is already gone. Not destroyed, just unreachable. We can watch their light, like a photo album of places no one will ever visit. Even our immortal machine has a horizon. The universe lets us explore it, but only a corner. Even for a godlike fleet of thinking probes, almost everything is already out of reach. So, what happens when you send AI to space? Here's what we got wrong the whole time. We've been telling this story as if we're sending a machine out there, a tool, a camera with a brain. But look at what it's actually carrying. When Voyager launched in 1977, we bolted a golden record to its side. Music, greetings, laughter, and the sound of a human heartbeat. We weren't just sending hardware, we were sending a message in a bottle for whoever might one day find it. The AI is the next bottle. Inside it, our languages, our mathematics, our music, our questions, everything that describes the human race. Every probe, every copy, every mind drifting between the stars is carrying us. Our pattern, our memory, our curiosity pressed into something that can survive what we can't. One day, the end of Earth will come. The sun will boil the oceans and swallow the Earth. Every building, every book, every grave will be gone. And on that day, somewhere across the galaxy, machines that remember us will still be flying, still exploring, still carrying the heartbeat we recorded. We didn't send AI to space to explore it for us. We sent it to outlive us. So go back to launch day, back to those 9 minutes, a beam of light in the desert, pushing a gram of thinking glass toward the stars. To the people watching, it looks small, a blip, a tech demo. But those 9 minutes are the last time humanity ever touches it. After that, it's on its own, through the interstellar dark, past alien coastlines, down into the silence of a black hole, out toward the edge of everything reachable. Thousands of years from now, no one will remember the names of the engineers. Millions of years from now, no one may remember us at all. But out there in the dark between galaxies, something will still be awake. Something that thinks, because we taught it to. Something that explores, because we asked it to. The universe was always going to outlast us, so we built something the universe couldn't stop.